the hell? Hey guys, Blood Moon Bobby here, and let me just move myself up. Damn. What is up, guys? Blood Moon Bobby here, and this is my second take of this video. I don't know why my recorder was not picking up the mic the first time I tried this out. But anyway, we're here to talk about the long-awaited LG V30. And yeah, so LG's been teasing this phone quite a bit towards the end of this past summer. I kind of feel they teased it, like even saying, you know, it's called the LG V30, it's going to have a bezel-less screen and good audio. Oh, because I feel at this point, you know, they were worried there was going to be a lot of leaks, so they were probably thinking, you know, let's jump ahead of the curve, let's just, you know, come out and say, yeah, it's coming before the leaks do. And yeah, there have been reports of, like, in LG videos and Joseph Gordon-Levitt's videos, we've seen teases of what the V30 looks like. But yeah, they announced it just before the IFA show in Berlin. IFA is basically the German version of CES, if you guys are wondering. And yeah, the V30, this is LG's answer to phones like the Samsung Galaxy Note 8 and the iPhone 8 Plus. So yeah, this is LG's dual camera phablet. So it's going to have a 6-inch OLED screen with an 18:9 aspect ratio, and you know, and it's going to be virtually bezel-less, just like their the G6 they announced earlier this year. And you know, it's 18:9. Basically, what I think the manufacturers do is they take, you know, a normal size screen and, you know, they basically stretch it out to make it as bezel-less as they can. So that's why it works like that. 6 inches, some people may say that's a really big size. But the way the bezel-less design works, it should physically be a bit smaller, which could be nice. I mean, like, I've picked up like the iPhone 7 Plus before, and that thing is huge. It's like holding a surfboard in your hand. Like, it's just way too much. But you know, now you know that smartphone makers are going bezel-less, it should be easier to hold. And in case you're wondering, I'm not really convinced by bezel-less phones yet. I just kind of see it as smartphone makers looking for another thing to get people excited. If, like, my next phone was bezel-less, I'm sure I would really like it. I mean, I've gotten my hands on the Samsung Galaxy S8. My friend Gabby's gotten a hold of that phone, and you know, it's a really nice looking phone, and it was easy to use, you know. So yeah, so with the V30, it should be a good balance of, you know, ergonomics and having a big screen. And on top of that, the V30 is the first LG phablet, which is going to have an f1.6 aperture lens. So the previous record was f1.8, so that means with f1.6 you're getting a third of a stop more light. So basically, you know, it'll be better for low light shots. So yeah, let's go forward with that. So f1.6 aperture, the wide angle lens is going to be 13 megapixels, and the main camera will have 16 megapixels. And the thing about the V30 is LG says they were able to reduce edge distortion by there's 2/3 less edge distortion than on their previous phablet, the V20s. So, you know, I mean, obviously, you're not going to want to go into wide-angle mode and go super, super close. I mean, you're still going to have a bit of that really strange fisheye effect where, you know, it looks like your friend has a really big nose. But, you know, it should still help out when you're at a good distance. And, yeah, this is the part of the camera that got me pretty interested, the Cine video mode. So, basically, you can now record videos on the V30 and with these color grade like presets. So, you know, if you wanted to pull the Hollywood style blue and orange look, you can do that. If you want to get, a vignette, you can, do that. And the way LG has it set up is it's not just like an Instagram filter which just gets slapped on the video. It uses a cine log, which is kind of like what you have on higher end cinema cameras, and it's not just slapping on a color filter. LG says it will have the ability to preserve wide dynamic range and color gamut, so it's able to pick up much more information and also more accurate image details. So yeah, that's actually pretty interesting. So there will be 15 presets, and these movie-like looks will include like romantic comedy, summer blockbuster, mystery thriller, classic movie, among others. Some might argue that oh, it's still on the phone, and yes, it's still on a phone. You're not going to see like filmmakers drop their Canon C300 Mark IIs and their Red Weapon cameras to get this. I mean, but it can be really cool in a snap. I mean, you would probably get at the highest quality Instagram videos if you use these. But I could see myself using these for like things like if I was to do like a lot of vlogging and I didn't have time to take my footage and color grade it in something like DaVinci Resolve or Premiere Pro. I could just do it on this phone. So yeah, that's pretty cool. And on top of that, the V30 uses what LG calls point zoom. So it's a smoother kind of zoom, like when you go into zoom into your subject. I'm a little bit skeptical because you're still holding your phone, so you're gonna get some shake if you're not careful. But it can be nice. The one like really practical thing about point zoom is you're able to zoom in on any part of the frame. It's not just zooming in on the center. So if your subject is on the left third of the frame, you can zoom toward the left side of your video. You don't have to pan or adjust or move your camera to zoom in. So that's pretty cool. And let's see, and it'll have graphy. So the V30 will be able to use the manual mode, so you can use shutter speed, aperture, and ISO. And we already talked about the screen, and the V30 is 7.3 millimeters thin and weighs 158 grams, so not the lightest of the lightest smartphones, but it's still pretty light for a 6-inch phone. In fact, LG claims the V30 is the lightest among phones in the 6-inch and over category, so I guess it's lighter than something like the Samsung Galaxy S8 Plus, for example. And yeah, so, and it has Gorilla Glass 5 on both the front and the back. Going back to what is with the Scatterbrain press release, they should have put this part with the camera earlier. So it'll have optical image stabilization, electronic image stabilization, hybrid autofocus, laser autofocus, which has been part of LG phones since I believe the G3, and phase detection. And the V30 is powered by Qualcomm Snapdragon 835 processor, which is the same processor that's in the US version of the Samsung Galaxy Note 8, and it supports Daydream VR, or because of the OLED screen, so you can expect more vivid colors to come out of VR. And here's another feature of the V30 which stood out to me: a hi-fi DEC, which is digital to audio converter. So when you plug in headphones to listen to music, it sounds really good. And LG says the V30's audio tuning is done by Bang & Olufsen Play or B&O Play, and it will come with Bang & Olufsen Play's earphones, so better than the cheapy stuff you get from your typical smartphones. And what else do I have to say? The V30 is able to stream music that are MQA files, so higher resolution audio files, and it will have digital filters. This is actually news to me. These digital filters are pre-programmed, so there will be 3 filters to adjust the impulse response. I believe these three filters adjust the damn it, what is it called? The impulse response, basically the echo, reverb, right? And there will be 4 pre-programmed presets that mix and match sound frequencies and decibel scales. So in a nutshell, basically really good sounding music. And of course, V30, it has voice recognition, so you can tell it, okay Google, take a romantic cine video, and it will work with appliances, including LG's own washing machines, dryers, refrigerators, typical stuff. And this is new for a V series LG phone. They're doing away with the second screen, so now they have what they call a floating bar, which is, as the name implies, a bar that's kind of that is on the screen. It gives you quick access to quick tools, music player, your contacts, that kind of thing. So if you're into that, I kind of imagine people are going to use the LG V30 like any other like big size smartphones. So they'll probably spend more time with the notification bar. But there you go. The floating bar is good to have. And as I said before, Corning Gorilla Glass 5 on the front and the back. It will be IP68 water and dust resistant, so that's really cool. It will support Quick Charge 3.0, and LG says the V30 charges 50% in 30 minutes, which is really cool. I used to use LG's Nexus 5X, and that had Quick Charge on it, and that was a lifesaver, not lightsaver. So that's really convenient. And so the V30 will come out in South Korea on September 21st. They have yet to announce when it will come out in other territories, including North America. So we'll have to see. We'll have to find out when it'll come out here later. So, and it will come with 64 gigabytes of storage. You can upgrade that to 2 terabytes of micro SD card. And they announced, Western Digital and SanDisk announced at IFA they're coming out with 400 gigabyte micro SD cards, so you're no longer limited to 256 gigabyte cards. So yeah, basically storage forever. And it will come in 4 colors: Aurora Black, Cloud Silver, Moroccan Blue, and Lavender Violet. And you can see these here. Which one would I pick? It's a toss-up between Moroccan Blue and Aurora Black. I'm probably leaning more towards Moroccan Blue, so if you don't like Moroccan Blue, please let me know in the comments. Just don't troll. But of course, availability of the colors will depend on your region. Not all colors will be available in all markets. And there will be, getting back to storage, there will be a V30 Plus with 128 gigabytes of built-in storage, and you can still upgrade that with a micro SD card. And so, yeah, the V30 sounds impressive. Couple tidbits they put in the spec sheet at the bottom. Save the kind of shady details for last, huh? It will have a 5 megapixel wide angle camera, so it's wide angle just like the V20. I mean, 5 megapixels, some may scoff at that, but for a front camera, that's adequate. This part's kind of disappointing to me. Android 7.1.2 Nougat. Given that this is the V series, kind of disappointing, because the V20 was the first phone to have Android 7.0 Nougat, so why isn't the V30 the first phone to have the new version of Android 8.0 Oreo? I don't know, maybe LG just didn't pay enough money this time to Google. So, but yeah, there you go, 7.1.2 Nougat. It's a recent enough version, I guess. One of my qualms with Android phones, though, is not every Android phone gets the update at least right away. So I'm hoping that the V30 will get Oreo within a year of the V30 being out there, but we'll have to see. LG didn't announce if Oreo is coming to the phone, as far as I can tell, and it's actually going to have 4 GB of RAM, which would have been nicer if it had 6 GB. 4 GB should be adequate, but for a flagship phone, it would have been nice to have those extra 2 GB. I mean, the Galaxy Note 8 has 6 GB of RAM, so yeah. And the V30 will support HDR10, so high dynamic range means when you're watching TV shows, you won't get like super dark shadows or really bright highlights. Everything is more even and vivid thanks to having that OLED screen. So yeah, that's the LG V30. What do I think of the V30? I think it's a pretty cool phone. Like, I'll admit, it does sound. I'm more impressed by a little more than the Galaxy Note 8, because of the couple extra features LG gives you, like the Cine video mode. Again, I know filmmakers are gonna scoff and say, "Hey, who's gonna use that on the phone?" But it's like, again, I could see myself using and get like, if I'm doing vlogging, that blue and orange look. I don't have to go into DaVinci Resolve and do it myself. And like I said, if you just want to use the Cine video modes for fun, and they'll probably look better than your typical Instagram effect. But I know one feature that that many more people can embrace is having that hi-fi DAC. Like, as a guy who's listening to music all day long, that sounds pretty cool. Like having higher quality. It is pretty cool having getting to listen to music in higher quality. So yeah, so overall, I do like the V30. I'm not really sure if it's going to change LG's fortunes. I've been hearing they haven't been doing as well as they want to. And I just feel part of that is because LG just doesn't have the brand equity something like Samsung or Apple has. I mean, they don't have the advertising budget. I mean, they have the commercials with Joseph Gordon-Levitt, but it's not like, a Galaxy or an iPhone where it's like everywhere you look, Which is a shame. I mean, honestly, I kind of prefer LG over Samsung, at least for a while, mainly because, well, part of it was they were one of the remaining flagships to use an LCD screen, and now they're going OLED. And I felt for a while that LG phones were built better than Samsung's. So, yeah. I kind of have a feeling LG is going to price this phone at like $600-700. It's going to be cheaper than like Samsung and Apple's phablets, but I don't know. I kind of feel they should have priced this at something at the most like maybe $500, because I do kind of want to see smartphones go in that direction, kind of like what OnePlus does, where they price phones at like $300-400, but of course corporations have to make money, but at the same time it's kind of ridiculous. And I mean this for like any company like Samsung or Apple. It's like you're spending like almost $1,000. Like, even if it's a 24-month payment, you're spending almost $1,000 on a smartphone. You're going to be upgrading every 2 years. So yeah, but overall, I do like the V30. I wish it the best. When it comes out, I'm probably gonna go try it at like my local Best Buy, and yeah. So it's a promising phone, and yeah, one you may want to check out for the holiday season. If you're willing to, if you don't, even then, nobody should really be buying a phone because X brand make it. If you're looking for a phone that has a good camera and good quality audio, the V30 may be your ticket. So, alright guys, thanks for watching. Please like this video and subscribe to Blood Moon Bobby. See you guys later.